Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswaminiti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishiki Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai Shri Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai. The word towards synonymous translations and purports by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hope everybody is doing well. Yes, I want to hear from at least from the beginners program, the devotees. How are you doing, Shruti Mataji? You're doing well? You happy with Krishna consciousness?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good to hear. Very good. And what about Suchi Mataji? Is she around? She was a bit busy, she mentioned. She had to leave for some urgent work. Okay. Now, do we remember what we were discussing last week? Who would remember this, please?
Single.
Yeah. Anyone, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
In previous class, we discussed about the conversation between the reporter and Srila Prabhupada, and in that we discussed about who is the disciple of God, who is the representative of God, what are the parameters where we can say that this is the disciple of God. Uh,
Not
so
disciple, follower of God.
yeah, follower,
Yes.
representative of
Yes.
God.
Yes.
So from there, we found that the one who is following the scriptures and uh, the one who is living from the Guru Shishya Parampara, uh, the one. And also we discussed about who the genuine, whenever the genuine people gets cheated, uh, how to find out the who are cheating us, and we should not take shortcuts, and the one who is addicted to Krishna is also considered as a representative of God, and we should be serious in the spiritual life. These were the pointers which we discussed in the previous session.
Yes, wonderful. Very good, very good. So did you study this, or you remember this?
Yeah, I read once, and also I have made the notes of the previous session.
Wonderful. Very, very nice. Initially I had to make devotees write down, the notes. You must make notes because every week everybody was very fresh, They would come and they say, yes, I'm ready to, give me the class now. They're all very ready, fresh, eagerly teeming. And I would say, what is this going on, They're enthusiastic, that's right, but oh, Krishna, Govinda, Madhav. Anyway, so now I'm very happy that we've got a devotee here who's enthusiastic, who's very keen, and who's studying also. So we will continue with our discussion. You very nicely you recapped what was discussed as well, and mind you, this may be saying that this is beginners program, but I like to keep this beginners program with myself. I don't like to give away this program to any other speaker. Not that I don't trust them, it's just that I love it very much because I learned so much, so much. And this beginner's level is very, very important level where 1 plus 1 is taught in this kindergarten, that if something is taught wrong, then your whole mathematical calculation for the whole life is wrong. If 1 plus 1 is equal to 3, somebody teaches you, you're finished there. So I like to keep it that way. And yeah, so what we'll do is we'll continue with our discussion now, and we'll take up any questions and realizations as we go with this. Yeah, 1 second. I'll just share now the screen, and we will start the discussion. Right. Saints and swindlers. Right. So now, Shruti Madhuri, can you see this on the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to read now?
Yes.
You can reading, please. Thank you. We start with the reporter.
What about the person who seriously reporter? What about the person who seriously wants to find spiritual life but who happens to finish up with the wrong guru? Srila Prabhupada. If you simply want an ordinary education, you have to devote so much time, labor, and understanding to it. Similarly, if you are going to take to spiritual life, you must become serious. How is it that simply by some wonderful mantras someone can become God in 6 months? Why do people want something like that? This means that they want to be cheated. Reporter. How can a person tell he has a genuine guru? Srila Prabhupada. Can anyone of my students answer this question? Disciple. Once I remember John Lennon asked you, How will I know who is the genuine guru? And you answered, just find out one who is most addicted to Krishna, he is genuine. Srila Prabhupada. Yes, the genuine guru.
1 second, please. So now here, this particular reference Prabhupada is giving, because what was happening was, the background is this, that, John Lennon, you know who's John Lennon? Do you know who's John Lennon? Shri Mataji? Sorry,
Singer.
Shri Mataji? Singer? Yeah, very famous. He's a very famous singer. So Prabhupada was staying in their home. And when he and his wife, they were trying out a new kind of drug. They were cocaine with the nuts going this way. They're trying out different kind of drugs. So Prabhupada knew this. So when this question was raised by him, John Lennon, Prabhupada said, one who's addicted to Krishna. So that he would understand, because he was addicted to drugs, So that's the reason why he used this analogy, to make him understand. So that's why this point came about one who's addicted to Krishna. Is it okay? Right. So now we'll continue with our discussion here. Yes, can you please continue, please?
Yes.
Yes, please continue.
Srila Prabhupada. Yes, the genuine guru is God's representative and he speaks about God and nothing else. The genuine guru is he who has no interest in materialistic life. He is after God and God only. That is one of the tests of a genuine guru, Brahma Nishtam. He is absorbed in the absolute truth. In the Mukunda Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, it is stated, Strotriyam Brahma Nishtam. The genuine guru is well versed in the scriptures and Vedic knowledge, and he is completely dependent on Brahman. He should know the Brahman spirit. Brahman spirit is and how to become situated in Brahman. These signs are given in the Vedic literature. As I said before, the real Guru is God's representative. He represents the Supreme Lord, just as Viceroy represents King. The real Guru will not manufacture anything. Everything says is in accordance with the scriptures and the previous acharyas. He will not give you a mantra and tell you that you will become God in 6 months. This is not Guru's business. A Guru's business is to canvass everyone's to become a devotee of God. That is the sum and substance of a real Guru's business. Indeed, he has no other business. He tells whomever he sees, please become God's conscious. If he canvasses somehow or other on behalf of God and tries to get everyone to become a devotee of God, he is a genuine guru.
Yes, we've studied till here last week, so everything is discussed. Now please continue. Thank you.
Reporter, what about the Christian priest? Srila Prabhupada, Christian, Muhammadan, Hindu, he doesn't matter. If he's simply speaking on behalf of God, he is a guru. Lord Jesus Christ, for instance, he canvassed people saying, just try to love God. Anyone, it doesn't matter who. Be he Hindu, Muslim, or Christian, is a guru. If he convinces people to love God, that is the test. The guru never says, I am a God or I will make you God. The real guru says, I am a servant of God and I will make you a servant of God also. It doesn't matter how the guru is dressed. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, whoever can impart knowledge about Krishna is a spiritual master. A genuine spiritual master, simply tries to get people to become devotees of Krishna or God. He has no other business.
Okay. You understand this point? Is it okay?
Yes.
So it's very important to understand here that there is no dogma attached to it. That one has to be a Hindu, one has to be a Christian, or one has to be a Muslim or a Buddhist, only then he's a guru. And anyone who talks about God is guru. Now we understand that yes, Christians would call God as a synonym, God, you know. Similarly, it's Muslims, they say Allah, you know. Doesn't matter. As long as the knowledge is perfect, it's perfect. So we are not on the bodily designation of life. This is very, very, very important to understand this. Okay, in your very first step in Krishna consciousness, this has to be very clear. We are not fanatics unnecessarily. Okay, everything is a designation. We are not this body, so there's no question of designation. Okay, this is all right, Shushti Matari? Okay.
Yes.
Right. Is it all right with anyone else who's also there from the beginner's level? Or anyone also. All right, let's continue then. Okay, here it is. I think we are. One minute, please. Where did we go? Okay, here it is. Reporter.
Reporter. But the bad gurus? Srila Prabhupada. And what is a bad guru? Reporter. A bad guru just wants some money or some fame. Srila Prabhupada. Well, if he is bad, how can he become a guru? How can iron become gold? Actually, a guru cannot be bad. For if someone is bad, he cannot be a guru. You cannot say bad guru. That is a contradiction. What you have to do is simply try to understand what is a genuine guru is. The definition of a genuine guru is that he's simply talking about God, that's all. If he's talking about some other nonsense, then he's not a guru. A guru cannot be bad. There is no question of a bad guru, any more than a red guru or a white guru. Guru means genuine guru. We'll have to know is that the genuine guru is simply talking about God and trying to get people to become God's devotees. If he does this, he is genuine.
Okay, understand this point. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. Even amongst a proper, genuine Vaishnava society also, we will find this situation where people may be interested in money or women or whatever it is, you know. So that is the reason why it is very important to read Srila Prabhupada's books. And it is very important to change our own self, our own behavior. Because when we try to do that, then if anybody comes posing as a guru, then we will be able to correlate and check with them. Is it according to what Prabhupada writes? No? Oh, thank you very much. I'm happy with Prabhupada. What is the difficulty, you know? You see? So everybody will come to demand our attention. Everybody will come to demand attention. But we are not interested in that. We are interested only in pure devotional service. You see? And don't think that pure devotees are born only in ISKCON or somewhere. No, no, no. There are pure devotees everywhere. There are devotees of Krishna also everywhere. Okay? So don't think Prabhupada is the only pure devotee. Not in that way. No, no, no. Prabhupada certainly is a pure devotee, but there are others who are also there in purity. Okay? But we don't judge person emotionally, or we don't judge people because others are judging or others accepted him. Sorry, we do not accept somebody emotionally, and we do not accept others as genuine because other people are accepting him. We use our own intelligence and discrimination. Is this point clear? And from the very beginning, you should understand this point. Every new person walks into our program has to understand this. Everywhere else, they talk about pure devotee, pure devotee. Nobody talks about these things of using one's intelligence. Krishna has given everybody intelligence. We may not know spiritual subject matter for now. That's all right. We are learning it. That doesn't mean we are not intelligent. We are intelligent. We have to use our intelligence. So nobody should use us. You see, sometimes somebody comes and says, come and do this service for me. Come and do service. We feel very happy. Oh, I'm so important to do service. Intelligent person will start to think, why is he asking me? Well, of course, we can do service, but what is the reason behind it? That is intelligence. Foolish people will think, oh, good, I'm doing service. And they are misused, jumping here and there. Monkeys, Please, you are very correctly doing, Mother Shushti, that you are reading what has been studied, making notes. So this is where you'll never lose. You'll never be victimized. You always go back to your notes. I used to make notes everywhere, all the time. My notebook is full. And I'd made all these devotees making writing notes. They also have got notebooks for so many years, old notebooks. They are done all this. They're also very nicely done. You can see the difference. Okay, right. Let us continue. Sorry, you understood this? Any questions? Anybody has any questions on this? No? Okay. Let's go. Here we go.
If a reporter, if I wanted to be initiated into your society, what would I have to do? Srila Prabhupada, first of all, you have to give up illicit sex life. Reporter, does that include all sex life? What is illicit sex life? Srila Prabhupada, illicit sex is sex outside of marriage. Animals have sex with no restrictions, but in human society there are some restrictions. In every country and in every religion, there is some system of restricting sex life. You would also have to give up all intoxicants, including tea, cigarettes, alcohol, marijuana, anything that intoxicates. Reporter. Anything else? Srila Prabhupada.
Okay. Yes.
You would also have to give up eating meat, eggs, and fish. And you would have to give up gambling as well. Unless you gave up these four sinful activities, you could not be initiated.
See, the thing is, you must understand one thing. Giving up illicit sex, no, not eating meat, alcohol, no gambling. These four things are described in the scriptures as something which one has to give up to progress in. One has to give up if one progresses in spiritual life. So Prabhupada did not invent anything new. You see, these are basic things. Otherwise, if we do such things, then this subject matter of Krishna and love for Krishna, which you cannot see, you can experience, one cannot understand it. You see, it becomes on an emotional level without really practically understanding what is the meaning of associating with Krishna, God. And it is our birthright to associate with God, Krishna. But we have forgotten this somehow or other. So to revive this process, one has to have some kind of controlled life. And this is a controlled life. Unfortunately, Western life is full of uncontrolled desires. Practically, whatever they feel like they're doing. So we have to be very careful on this. And at least these 4 regulative principles you must follow. And one doesn't need to be a very big devotee to follow these 4 regulative principles. One can be just very simple devotee, humble person who performs his sadhana quietly, studies, implements, cooks for Krishna, offers to Krishna, preaches whatever he understands, whatever he learns, preaches honestly. That is glorious life. As compared to that, we've got somebody who is having thousands of people, having big events and festivals, big garlands been given to the person, big Vasasan he sits on, associates with big people, but he's not following the 4 regulative principles, and still posing himself as a big devotee and big guru. This is very abominable. There is no chance. There's no chance of hypocrisy in this, in bhakti. So, Kali Yuga, in which we are living, we just had Kali Yuga discussion in the last previous class. In its hypocrisy and quarrel, we are all completely absorbed in thinking that, oh, so many big festivals are happening here. He must be a genuine person. What is the meaning of must be? What is the meaning of must be? You don't know. Once, while I was working in my office, an Indian Christian guy was there. So I was talking to him of Jesus Christ being son of Krishna. So he didn't like it too much. So once I was sitting in my desk, working, he came and says, listen, Jesus Christ is known by more people than Krishna. So Krishna just came in my heart. So Mercy of Guru Maharaj, I promptly looked at him and said, that way, Michael Jackson is more famous than Jesus Christ was. So Michael Jackson should be God, right? He looked at me. He was stunned by this, Immediately response, he looked at me. He says, yes. So don't bring all these things in the middle. Be honest about things. Just be attached to your body unnecessarily. He said, yes. And he walked away. Never again he did this to me. You see, and this is what happens. We think that the biggest numbers means it must be very big. To search out a genuine guru, Prabhupada was in India, and he could not distribute his Back to Godhead so easily. Nobody wanted to buy his Back to Godhead. Even in Delhi, he fainted in Delhi heat on the streets of Delhi while distributing. You see? It's when he said, I'll go to the West. Once I get Americans and Europeans to follow me, then Indians will follow me. So Prabhupada's personal agenda was to preach to Indians. And that's correct, for slavery. That's why we say that the first thing in Hare Krishna Prabhupada teaches us is that you're not this body or spirit soul. Full stop. So one can be Indian, one can be American, one can be Kiwi, one can be Australian, one can be whatever. Everybody has equal rights to understand his creator and love him. Full stop. No complications. Keep it very simple. The more complicated we make, the more difficult it's going to be for us. Okay, that's why these 4 regulative principles are very important. What are those? No meat eating. Okay. That is not even eggs, No gambling, no illicit sex, and no intoxication. So you have to give up your tea, coffee also. Now, at the beginner's level, we don't expect you to give up any of these things. We say, don't worry, you just do everything, but chant Hare Krishna if you can. You just add Krishna in your life. Slowly, as we progress, it will be changed. All right? Wonderful. So let us move forward now. Any questions on this before we move forward? If our followers from YouTube also wants to ask a question, they can do so before we move on. Or as we move on. Okay. So we'll start. We'll continue with our okay. Can you start from here, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. Reporter, how many followers do you have throughout the world? Srila Prabhupada, for anything genuine, the followers may be very few. For something rubbish, the followers may be many. Still, we have about 5,000 initiated disciples.
See here, Prabhupada said this one. You water it down and you'll have many people following you. Even in Krishna consciousness, this is to happen with us. And devotees told me in the temple, yes, you are right. So if I bring down my level, everybody will come jumping up and dancing. This is the one. This is the thing to understand. Is it okay, Mother? You understand this point?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, great. Please continue.
Reporter, is the Krishna consciousness movement growing all the time? Srila Prabhupada, yes. It is growing, but slowly. This is because we have so many restrictions. People do not like restrictions. Reporter, where is your following the greatest? Srila Prabhupada, in the United States, Europe, South America, and Australia. And of course, in India, there are millions who practice Krishna consciousness.
Yes, but now it has changed a little. Now the biggest growth is in India and former Soviet Union, like Russia, Ukraine, and all that. Yes, please continue.
Reporter, could you tell me what the goal of your movement is? Srila Prabhupada, the purpose of this Krishna consciousness movement is to awaken man's original consciousness. At the present moment, our consciousness is designated. Someone is thinking, I am Englishman, and another is thinking, I am an American. Actually, we do not belong to any of these designations. We are all part and parcel of God. That is our real identity. If everyone simply comes to that consciousness, all the problems of the world will be solved. Then we shall come to know that we are one, the same quality of spirit soul. The same quality of spirit soul is within everyone. Although it may be in different dress, this is the explanation given in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. So far here, it means that suddenly all these problems that we have got of racism, black and white, religion, fat and not fat people, all this, all gone out of the window because you are not this body, you're spirit soul. You see? That is where we are one as spirit soul. Although we have different spirit soul cannot be one. We all are individuals. But as spirit soul, we don't have all these bodily designations. You understand this point?
I have one question.
Yes, please. Wonderful. Questions are very good.
Yes, Prabhuji, when we come to one family, then they say that we are a part of our spirit soul. Like why we came to one family, which is the one family is different than another. But it is written over here that we are spirit soul, we should not differentiate. But sometimes it happens that the someone who is Muslim, or someone who is Christian, or someone who is Hindu, we start differentiating in this kind of manner. And also, if one is Hindu and one is from another caste, then we start differentiating in this manner. But people don't think in this way. Uh,
Good question. That is because of lack of knowledge. See, now that you have got this knowledge, will you differentiate then?
no.
You will try not to, right? You will try not to, correct?
Yes.
It takes time, but this is the point, lack of knowledge. That's why this knowledge is very important. All right?
Yeah.
Question answered? Good. Anyone else has any questions on this before we move on? Okay, let's continue. Yes.
Krishna consciousness is actually a purificatory process, sarvo vinirmukuntam.
See,
Uh,
Krishna consciousness is actually a purificatory process. Means we are purifying ourselves. Yeah, that's the meaning of it. Shuddhikaran. We're doing Shuddhikaran, purifying ourselves. Okay? Yes, please read. Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam.
CC Madhya 19.170. Its purpose is to make people free from all designation. Tat paratvena nirmalam. When our consciousness becomes purified of all designations, the activities we carry out with our purified senses makes us perfect. Eventually, we reach the ideal perfection of human life. Krishna consciousness is also a very simple process. It is not necessary to become a great philosopher, scientist, or whatever. We need only chant the holy name of the Lord, understanding that His personality, His name, and His qualities are all absolute. Krishna consciousness is a great science. Unfortunately, in the universities, there is no department for this science. Therefore, we invite all serious men who are interested in the welfare of human society to understand this great movement and, if possible, take part in it and cooperate with us. The problems of the world will be solved. This is also the verdict of the Bhagavad Gita, the most important and authoritative book of spiritual knowledge. Many of you have heard of the Bhagavad Gita. Our movement is based on it. Our movement is approved by all great acharyas in India. Ramanuja, Ramanuja Acharya, Madhvacharya, Lord Chaitanya, and so many others. You are all representatives of newspapers. So I ask you to try to understand this movement as far as possible for the good of all human society. Reporter, do you think your movement is the only way to know God? Srila Prabhupada, yes. Reporter, how are you assured of that? Srila Prabhupada, from the authorities and from God, Krishna. Krishna says, Sarvadharma Parityajna Mam ekam sharanam vraja. Aham tattvam sarvapapyobhyo mokshasyami ma sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear.
Very good. So this words, Prabhupada says, yes, it's only you can go back to Godhead with this. So Prabhupada are giving reference with it. So this is the word, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshaishami Ma Suchaha. Bhagavad Gita chapter 18 verse 66. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. That means you don't have to do anything extra, nothing special to be done. Just follow me. So at that time also, when Arjuna asked the question and Krishna replied, there were other religious processes which people are following. See? Therefore, Krishna had to say, don't do it. Just follow me, that's done. Is this okay?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji.
You understand this point?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Please continue.
Reporter. Does surrender mean that someone would have to leave his family? Srila Prabhupada. No. Reporter. But suppose I were to become an initiate, wouldn't I have to come and live in the temple? Srila Prabhupada. Not necessarily. Reporter. I can stay at home? Srila Prabhupada. Oh, yes. Reporter. What about work? Would I have to give up my job? Srila Prabhupada. No. You would simply have to give up your bad habits and chant the Hare Krishna mantra on these beats. That's all. Reporter. Would I have to give any financial support? Srila Prabhupada. No. That's your voluntary wish. If you give, that's all right. If you don't give, we don't mind. We do not depend on anyone's financial contribution. We depend on Krishna. Reporter. I wouldn't have to give any money at all? Srila Prabhupada. No. Reporter. Is this one of the main things that distinguishes the genuine guru from the fake guru? Srila Prabhupada. Yes. A genuine guru is not a businessman. He is a representative of God. Whatever God says, the Guru repeats. He does not speak otherwise.
Just
Reporter.
pause here. So whenever you go to any temple, including ISKCON temple, that's okay. Somebody they may ask for money, that's okay. But this is not the only way. Remember this point. This is not the only way. And you can stay at home, chant Hare Krishna, perform everything, and go back to Godhead. Here, given here? Right. Anybody says, no, you must come here, then it will happen. Sure, make them read this. These are Bhagavatam Prabhupada's question answer session. Okay. There's no harm in going, don't get me wrong. But nowadays it has become a sort of a institutionalized situation where they are forcing people to come. You have to do this. Otherwise, no. You must give money. You must do service. You must come here. Every week this is going on. What? Whereas persons sit down and chant Hare Krishna then. So we teach, read Prabhupada's books, study them, implement it, and then associate everywhere as you want. There's no forcing anybody. Do you understand this? This may be news to you, but as you grow further, you'll understand these points. And I can tell you, yes, that it's beautiful to be in the temple with the deities, with the devotees. We can do that also. But don't forget to make your home into temple. That is most beautiful. When you're working, when you're tired after work, when you come back from your home tired working, you know that you're going to buy groceries. What are you going to cook? You're offering to Krishna first. That's a devotional service. You know this. So everything that you buy, grocery, offer to Krishna first. There's a process. You offer to Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj Prabhupada, say, please accept it so we can use it for Krishna. And then cook for Krishna. Take your shower, wear fresh clothes, and cook for Krishna. Don't make your servants cook. Then the servant will go back to Godhead. This Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj says, you don't make a servant do worship of the deity. The servant will go back to Godhead. You will not. You see, this is the thing to understand. With Krishna, it's very important. Of course, servants can cook for Krishna, but you can supervise, But not that you're sitting naturally like a king and then someone is offering and then you're having and prasadam, I'm doing devotional service. Of course you are, but there's a but there. It's up to us. See, there's no compulsion, you see. You can choose your levels of progress as you want to. Because if you're not forceful enough for ourselves, we'll take a bit of more time than normal. So nobody forces anybody anything. It's entirely up to us how fast we want to go back to Godhead. Running, or slowly walking, or crawling, or rolling, or going backwards, and then coming forward and going backward, entirely up to us. Nobody can force you to do anything. You see? That is Krishna consciousness Prabhupada teaching. This is genuinity. This is genuine Guru. You see, this is the point, It's very hard. It is very easy. That's why it's very hard. Any questions anyone has on this point? Okay, let's come to the last concluding point for today's discussion. Hold on. Okay, Hare. So Prabhupada, just removes all the kind of hypocrisy here, which is currently prevailing also in the temples. Yes, please continue.
Srila Prabhupada, yes. A genuine guru is not a businessman. He is a representative of God. Whatever God says, the guru repeats. He does not speak otherwise. Reporter. But would you expect to find a real guru, say, traveling in a Royal Royce and staying in a penthouse suite in a classy hotel? Srila Prabhupada, sometimes people provide us with a room in a first class hotel, but we generally stay in our own temples. We have some 100 temples around the world, so we don't require to go to any hotels. Reporter, I wasn't trying to make any accusations. I was merely trying to illustrate that I think your warning is a valid one. There are so many people interested in finding a spiritual life, and at the same time, there are a lot of people interested in cashing in on the guru business. Srila Prabhupada, are you under the impression that spiritual life means voluntary accepting poverty? Reporter, well, I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, please continue.
Srila Prabhupada, a poverty-stricken man may be materialistic, and a wealthy man may be very spiritual. Spiritual life does not depend on either poverty or wealth. Spiritual
Beautiful.
life,
So nice. Again, repeat this point again.
spiritual life does not
No, no,
depend
no,
on
no, no. The poverty. A poverty-stricken man.
a poverty-stricken man may be materialistic, and a wealthy man may be very spiritual. Spiritual life does not depend on either poverty or wealth. Spiritual life is transcendental. Consider Arjuna, for instance. Arjuna was a member of a royal family, yet he was a pure devotee of God. And in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Sri Krishna says, Ivam parampara praptam imam rajasrayo vidduha. This supreme science was received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way.
So that means this supreme science was received through the chain of disciplic succession, means to Guru Shishya Parampara. It was received. And the saintly king understood that way, this knowledge, Krishna is telling Arjuna. Yes.
In the past, all kings who were saintly understood spiritual science. Therefore, spiritual life does not depend on one's material condition. Whatever a person's material condition may be, he may be a king or a pauper, he can still understand spiritual life. Generally, people do not know what spiritual life is, and therefore they unnecessarily criticize us. If I asked you what spiritual life is, how would you answer? Reporter, well, I'm not sure. Srila Prabhupada, although you do not know what spiritual life is, you still say, it is this or it is that. But first, you should know what spiritual life is. Spiritual life begins when you understand that you are not your body. This is the real beginning of spiritual life. By seeing the difference between yourself and your body, you come to understand that you are a spiritual soul. Aham Brahmasmi. Reporter. Do you think this knowledge should be a part of everyone's education?
Just one second. I think, Mother, we should stop here to this discussion. We're starting a new point here, no? So this is very wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Right. So before we conclude today, anyone wants to say anything? Any questions, any realizations? Because we went on, we had question answers anyways, while we went through. Yeah, okay. Right. Just very quickly, to the any 1 point or 2 points which stood out for you, Mother Sushti Mataji?
From the beginning, what I found is we can make sure that the God representative will not say that I am a God, or doesn't say I want to I want to make you a God. I am just here to make you a servant of God. And also, in order to be a part of this society, you need to give up, like what Srila Prabhupada said to the reporter. In order to become a part of this movement, you need to give up on the sinful activities, the 4 activities which was mentioned over there. And this is only to become controllable to your life. You can have a control in your life to whenever you will leave this sinful activities. And the simple thing to be a part of this movement is just to chant Hare Krishna wherever you are, from wherever you belong to.
That's it. No complications. Right. Is Suchi Mataji around? She told me she's a bit busy. She made a message. What if she's not here? Okay. Anyone wants to say from intermediate devotees? Something to be said? Any points? Devanshi Mataji, you picked up anything new? Yes.
Yes.
1 or 2 points, please. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. The first point being that I was just marveling at the fact how Prabhupada picked up exactly what the reporter was kind of hinting at, where he asked her directly that, do you think that spiritual life means accepting poverty? And like that was something so like I was thinking that how brilliant that was on Srila Prabhupada's part, that he picked that up, that is what she was hinting at, and he made it so clear that like it was so simple. I just this one line that only you have to give up your bad habits and you have to chant on these beads. That's all that you have to do. You can stay at your own house, you can do your own job, and it does not matter. Anything else does not matter as long as you're doing these two things. Like, yes, that was very nice. And then the other point also about bad guru, when Prabhupada, it's like it just very elucidates how simple Prabhupada's thinking was, that he said that how can a bad guru is contradictory. How can a guru be bad? A guru is, it has to be good. So there's no question of a bad guru. So yes, it was very, very wonderful points. It was very enjoyable. Hare Krishna.
Yes, very good, very good. And once somebody asked, so Prabhupada, what do you think of Sai Baba? You know what Prabhupada answered? I don't think of him. Full stop. What kind of I don't think of him. Hare Krishna. This is the thing, very witty, very, very witty. And because of his wittiness, Prabhupada were questioned every step of his way, because he was pioneering the whole movement around the world. So the Christian priests question him, reporters question him, media question him, devotees question him, ordinary people question him before becoming devotees, Muslims question him, Hindus question him, everybody questioned him. He was fiery every time, but very lovingly. Sometimes he would be fiery like a lion, whichever way. Very small person with a small demeanor, short, thin person, but it could be anything like this, Lord Nrsingadev as well. So, very Prabhupada. And because of that, today we have got the chance. That's why we insist with folded hands. Please read Prabhupada's books. Just open the book and read. Don't jump to Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Don't do that. As I said, first of all, whatever we are teaching you, read that. So Shruti Mataji correctly is doing. Whatever we're teaching, you're doing. So also you also do, Shruti Mataji. Whatever we're teaching, you're reading, preparing. You always be steady. So it's like devotional services. If there are two steps, there are two steps. So normally when you walk like this. Okay? Devotional service, you walk like this. See, one step, second step, same place. One step, second step, same place. So you are firm in it. You see? That's it. And you won't be cheated. Hare Krishna. Wonderful. Anyone wants to say anything else? Or big acharyas want to say anything? Leaders program? Okay. All right. So we'll complete today's discussion. We'll conclude. And thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Now, whose turn is it to sing today? Let me remember. 1 minute, please. I'm thinking. Okay, I remember now very, very well. Last week was right. I know. Hold on. I know. So it is whose turn is it to sing? It's Navina's turn. No. It is Subhadra's turn. It's Madhav's turn. Or it's my turn?
It's Subhadra's turn, Prabhuji.
See, I know. Out of the 4, 1 is right. I know this, So I'm progressing. I'm progressing slowly. Subhadra, कैसे हैं आप? ठीक है?
Yes, Prabhuji.
आपका camp कैसा था? How was your camp?
It was good.
I was told you don't want to come back. You wanted to stay in the camp only. You're very happy there. I told the mother went there and picked you up. No, you must come home. That's why you came home. Something like that. Yeah, you're not. Are you feeling all right? It's a bit cold today here as well. You're wearing a jumper, right?
She got a little bit from camp. She got a little cough and all that.
Yes, you were mentioning to me.
Because the weather wasn't good, probably. Yeah, weather was very.
Oh, it was very, very. Mine rains and all was solid.
Yeah, rain.
It was solid rains, and it was like every week. Last week Last week, hurricanes in Auckland, New Zealand. You think New Zealand is a good weather. India is better. At least now it is winter season, so you got winter. Then summer season, you got summer now. It's going to be very cold. It's going to be very hot. Here it is cold and hot all the same day, man. Yeah.
4 seasons
4 seasons.
in one day.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
So we
Is
start
Shikha Babu
from-
there? Are you busy or there now? Anyway, let's start now. Shubhadra. Very nice listening, okay, with actions now. 1.
Louder.
Please hear us. Maharaj, please hear us. We have learned some real good stuff. We have learned some real good stuff. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. Maharaj, we have learned one thing. And today for you, we will sing. And today for you, we will sing. If our room is clean, if our room is clean, then our mind is clean. Then our mind is clean. If our mind is clean, if our
Mind is clean.
mind is clean, we can do anything. We can do anything. If our room is dirty, if our room is dirty, then so are we. Then so are we. But if we are dirty, we're not happy. We're not happy. Wasting time. Wasting time is the greatest crime. Is the greatest crime. Because wasted time. Because wasted time means a wasted mind. Means a wasted mind. So best is your time. So best is your time. When you're in your prime. When you're in your prime. In your whole life. And your whole life will be sublime. Will be sublime. If your wealth is gone. If your wealth is gone. Then there's nothing wrong. Then there's nothing wrong. If your health is gone. Well, if your health is gone. Then that's a different song. Then that's a different song. If your character dies. If the character dies. Then the world will cry. Then the world will cry. Only sanity behavior. Only sanity behavior. That's a humanity thrive. That's a humanity thrive. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Always remember Krishna. We must always remember Krishna. And never forget him too. And never forget him too. But how are we to practice this with so many things to do? But how are we
To practice, there's so many things to do.
That is the greatest question. That is the greatest question. And here's the greatest clue. And here's the greatest clue. You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely. So listen very closely. And make your thinking sharp. And make your thinking sharp. Let's learn how we can live in work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something choose tomorrow. If something choose
tomorrow.
Then I said today.
Then I said today.
Whatever's due today. Whatever's due today. Do it now, don't delay. Do it now, don't delay. Your friends might be lazy. Your friends might be lazy. Or doing bad things. Or doing bad things. But you think again. But you think again. Don't follow them. Don't follow them. And you will win the end. And you will win the end. Whatever work we're given. Whatever work we're given. We do our really best. We do our very best. We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to love this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, Sri Krishna every day.
When the time is up, you'll take yourself above. You'll sing and dance with them with a heart full of love.
When our time is up, we'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
To chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame, the only way this world will ever become sane.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame is the only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question. Now please ask this greatest question. And find this greatest clue. And find this greatest clue. You can only remember Krishna. You can only remember Krishna. If Krishna remembers you.
If Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai.
Jai Surineshla Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudev ki Jai.
Yeah.
Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada's transcendental books ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada's transcendental book distribution ki Jai.
Jai.
Shishananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Shishanitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
All glories to the assembled devotees, Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees, Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees, Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Prachayana Nivishesha Shundari Pandaviri Sari. So Hare Krishna. Okay, with this we conclude our today's discussion. Will Krishna willing, we'll see you next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
One second. Don't go away. All of you, 1 minute, please.